Hey everybody, this is Rich with MusicMedic with a quick product demonstration for our Woodwind screwdrivers. Each of these screwdrivers features a rubberized handle. They have ridges on them to keep them from rolling off the bench or table. They've got a pegboard hole so you can store them easily. There is a swivel on the back side so you can easily turn them in your hand. The shafts are flexible somewhat, and they're all hardened, and the tips have a coating as well as some texture, so these are going to grip screws tightly. The other feature of these screwdrivers that is awesome is that they're extremely light. I think these screwdrivers, which is size B, C, D, E, and F, all of these screwdrivers are less than an ounce. So to give you kind of a visual comparison, here's a spoon I found. This spoon weighs 1 ounce, and this screwdriver, the size C screwdriver, is lighter than that. So you're not going to experience fatigue if you're using these all day long. They're also well balanced, so these are just great screwdrivers for our professional technicians. For uses, I get a lot of questions on what sizes should I use. If you are a saxophone technician, I would recommend all 6 sizes because, and I'll go through the uses for each. If you are a flute or clarinet player or technician, you're primarily going to want sizes D, E, and F. So for saxophone, let me just walk through the different sizes and their uses. So this is size A. Size A is perfect for getting at guard screws and on basically all makes and models of saxophones, and it's also good for just general shop work. Size B is going to be the perfect tip for modern pivot screws, so Selmer, Yamaha, and any new instruments from Asia. So this will work excellent for those. Size C is probably the most versatile screwdriver for saxophone in my opinion. If I was going to just get one, I'd recommend size C because you can do some pivot screws with it without breaking the tip off if you don't have to torque it too much. But it's also, because of the longer shaft, you're going to be able to get to the screws around the bell. So this lower stack screw, you'll be able to get to, well, that's actually, what's that? That's the B. The lower stack is up here. And then, let's see, what else can you get to? You can also get around the bell to the G-sharp adjustment screw. So the C is good for that. And then on tenor and baritone, you have quite a distance between the top stack rod and the tenons, so the size C is great for getting to that hard to reach area. For size D, on saxophone still, we can use this on side keys. For size E, we primarily use size E on palm key rod screws, and then size F is going to be used in a couple of places. We can use this on our roller screws in both sections, and then on vintage instruments, if you have, so here's a con that we have in the shop, a lot of vintage instruments will have these locking screws for the pivot screws, and size F is perfect to get into there. So if you're working on saxophones primarily, I'm going to recommend that you get all sizes, all 6 sizes. On clarinet, we had said size D, E, and F. So let me start with, let me just show you. So this is size E, which is about 2 millimeters wide, and there's size F, which is about 1.5 millimeters. Size F is perfect for working these smaller adjustment screws. Size E is great for when you're working on the top joint and you want to get to rod screws. And then size D is perfect for getting to any sort of pivot screw on any make of clarinet. And then on bass clarinet, you can also use size D on bass clarinet. So I can get to this G sharp key and turn the screw, but I might also want to pick up a size C just so I have a little more leverage and clearance from the tenon. And then on flute, flute also uses D, E, and F. So for size F, I'm going to recommend that you use that to get into these really tiny pivot screws, or sorry, adjustment screws. Sometimes those screws are on the top of the right hand. Size E is going to do rod screws on flute, and then size D will let you get to these harder to reach areas around the tenon, and it will also turn a pivot screw on all makes. So this is the set of Woodwind screwdrivers from MusicMedic. We have size A, B, C, D, and F. For saxophone repairs, I'd recommend all 6 sizes, and for anyone working on clarinet, flute, oboe specifically, I'd recommend size D, E, and F. If you guys have any questions about these, feel free to contact us, and until next time, happy repairing.